How's it going, fellas and fellarettes? Welcome to the futures analysis for, it's going to be Tuesday, May 11th, 2021. So I didn't do a futures analysis for Monday. I was pretty tired. I went to bed pretty early, and I just didn't feel like doing a futures analysis. Also, there wasn't too much to note. I did take a brief look at futures, and yeah, I'm going to just let you know right now, based on what I was seeing here, I probably wouldn't have predicted this drop, so it's best that I really didn't make a futures announcement or any futures, calls. So here we're looking at the ES futures. We'll go ahead and delete some of these previous things just to keep it a little bit more tidy. So we saw a bit of a nosedive with the ES futures here. I forgot to mention we're looking at the S&P 500 E-mini futures, ES1 exclamation mark, the usual. So we took a bit of a nosedive here heading into the market open, which I think is probably best considering that we're coming off of these new all-time highs. This tends to be what ES does whenever we hit all-time highs. So you can see in the past, we hit highs here, we tank. We hit highs here, we come down a little bit. We hit highs here, and over time we tank a little bit. Jesus. So you can see that this is one of the largest retracements that we've had in a while. And I think it's a pretty healthy retracement, and it's something that we need to really keep in mind here. There's a couple of longer-term trending lines that we need to look at here in terms of ES. So here we have one, and there's one on the downside here as well. That's just, it's a little bit looser, but it still needs to be noted how we're in this sort of overall upward trend, but it's still a little bit shaky. So just keep these sort of things in mind, that there's a lot of chop going on in the market right now. So we're hitting a really hard support line right here. That could be the sort of short-term make or break for the market. So below this level, we're likely to see a short, like a sort of a soft resistance, or sorry, a soft support bounce off of 4140 down here. And below that, we have some really crucial support down here at 4116, where we just broke off of all-time highs here. So you can see that after we've been on this ridiculous bull run for all of March heading into early April, we're starting to sort of stable out here, and we may even be topping out. And if we draw this sort of upward trend here, and then this increasing channel here, this is what is known as a broadening channel. There's a couple of other words for it, but we saw it with Amazon a couple of months ago, or about a month and a half ago. Typically, especially in futures where you have these pretty large moves often, if we can take this support bounce and we can ride it all the way up to the next wave here, we can see a really nice spike up to new all-time highs. But if we continue lower when we break this channel, there's a good chance that we find support down here at some of these lower levels before we continue lower. So just keep that in mind. If we start breaking into some of these higher levels, possibly past 4180, we're likely to see a reversal to the upside. But other than that, we are looking bearish for the short term. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Nasdaq futures. Always fun to look at Nasdaq, huh? Look at this good old nosedive. I know there's a lot of lines in the chart. Just try to forgive me. They're all pretty important, so I have to keep them there. But yeah, these are little, yeah. So looking at the Nasdaq futures here, we took another nosedive. We are hitting what seems to be monthly lows. So coming off of this massive up rally that we had previously, Lord, hold on, so coming off of this massive rally that we had heading into middle of April, late April, into early May, we started coming down off of highs. So what this is telling me is that there's a lot of bearish action in the market right now. We're looking to bottom out somewhere. Now we have to figure out a place where we're going to bottom out at, right? So we've blown past these previous highs here. We knife edged basically. Now we're coming down to another support level around 13,166, where we saw this triple top at around the 23rd of March. And below that, we've got another really hard support down here in these sorts of levels. But other than that, it's looking incredibly bearish. So keep your tech plays conservative in my opinion right now. May's looking a little bit bearish to me. I don't like this choppy price action. In markets like these, whenever you have, it's a little bit better to have your short expirations and take your conservative calls, take profits fairly quickly. Once that theta starts to kick in, on these big down moves, you really got to be taking profits, especially on a futures like Nasdaq, on tech companies, whenever they move pretty quick. It's a little bit dangerous to be in these calls and these spreads for a little bit too long. So just be watching these and make sure that you're in the proper plays and you know what you're doing. If you sit in some of these too long, we could see a short-term tech rally like we did back here some of you guys might have sold off at the highs on our call credit spreads, and that's fine. It happens. But you know, just be careful here, because these sorts of market fluctuations tend to happen a lot. So as for the direction that I see us going right now, we're coming off of a pretty severe downtrend. So what I'm expecting is a short-term bounce to possibly resistance, and if we can't break, we're likely to keep on going down. But as for where we'll bottom, that's to be determined. But somewhere within this area, we should be bottoming. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Dow Futures. Oh dear Lord, it's been a while. You can tell. So for the sake of tidying up the chart, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just, give me one moment. We're just gonna get rid of all of this mush. Make it look nice and pretty. Roger Dodger, we are ready to go. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Remove some of that bull crap. Alrighty, so we hit some support here. We had resistance here. We hit some, looks like some support here. Maybe some resistance here. A little bit there, a little bit there, and I'll even draw one. That's fine. That's about it. YM tends to be a little bit more, a little bit. I don't really like the way that the YM futures move as much. But here we're looking at them. So we're coming off of a short-term downtrend. We had a nice rally up to resistance. Came down. We're touching support right now. And on smaller time frames, I believe we're curling a little bit. So yeah, what you're going to see here is in all these previous, what tends to separate rallies from reversals is with rallies. You'll see like we came down, right? We saw this really nice spike, a little bit of choppiness, and then we came right back down, right? But what we're seeing here isn't a spike in these last 45 minutes to an hour of trading. We're not seeing a spike. What we're seeing is a curve. This is often a nice signal of reversal here. We're hitting resistance coming down, but what we're looking for here is we're looking for a break pass and continue upward. Whenever you curl like this, it's a lot easier for things to continue upward because the bulls can come in and not be so positive that it's a rally, but more that it's a reversal. So be watching this reversal here, a break of the 34,600 line or so, and we could see a decent reversal up to about 34,732. And that's going to be about it for the futures analysis. If you guys want to see anything else, please let me know. I'm not going to be including the plays and the calls and the calls in these videos. I may do separate, weekly analyses all on their own. Just let me know what you guys want in the Discord. I'm all ears. So thanks for watching. Have a nice night, and goodbye.